So hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. We are going to be colouring in a design from my greyscale section of my book. This is the Hibiscus and this is from my Coloring Botanical Mandalas book on page 37. And I have some new materials I'm going to be using this week. I thought I'd have a go with using this gold jelly roll pen. And this will be fun to outline the grey lines on this design. Now, what is amazing about the grey scale area of my book is that you can add any colours you like to the grey lines. So you don't have the harshness of the black lines. You can add, purple, you can add red, you can add your own black if you want. You can add gold or silver. So that's what I thought we'd do today before we actually start colouring in this design using the colouring pencils. So I'm going to go ahead and roughly outline these grey lines with my gold pen. And I'll do that first of all before we add the colour. So I'll probably speed the camera up here or the video up here on playback so you can just see how this turned out. Now I do have a light on my desk today because I'm sorry if there is going to be a bit of a glare, but I just wanted to show you like how it can shimmer, and sometimes it's really difficult to show that on a camera and on video. So you'll see how lovely this is when you actually outline it with the gold pen. It gets some shimmer to your design, and then we'll go ahead and add the colour using my colouring pencils. Okay, so it's not perfectly outlined, but it gives us a bit of a template to work with and a bit of shimmer and shine for today. And I've got some colours here I'm going to start with. I am being inspired by this gorgeous hibiscus that is in my local area that has this deep red and orange in the centre, and then it kind of flares out to this beautiful yellow along the edge of the petals. So I'm kind of going to be using that as my inspiration today. And this particular mandala or botanical mandala in my book is actually a bit more of an abstract take on the hibiscus. So this is going to be a bit of an abstract colouring exercise as well. And I'm going to have some fun with shading. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just fill this center section in with this deep kind of red pink that I have. And I love to use the Stapler pencils. These are water soluble pencils, so you can use them as a regular colouring pencil, or you can add water to them to give them a bit of a watercolour effect. And my colouring book does allow for that as well, and I've done quite a lot of colouring in using watercolour and using these pencils as well. You just need to put a little bit of card behind the paper so it doesn't seep through. But anyway, in today's video we're just using the regular colouring pencil, and I'm just going to fill this centre section in, and then we're going to do some blending and shading. So for the actual blending of the petals, I am going to be using two colours. I've got the pink here, which is kind of like a fuchsia pink, and then I've got a yellow which is like a golden yellow. So one idea is to add the pink at the bottom of the petal like I've done here, then the yellow at the top, and then blend the two in the middle. And you can go backs and forwards between the two colours that you're using. You can also start with adding, let's say, yellow to the whole of this little segment here, and then taking the pink and then adding that in. So you can go quite heavily with the pressure at the bottom of the petal and then go lighter as you go upwards. So this, as you can see, creates some variation in these little segments as you work your way around. So you can change it up for each of the little areas and then just try out some different techniques just using these two colours. So I quite like filling out the yellow first and then going back over with the pink. And here you can see I'm going a bit higher up on this little segment, so you can kind of switch it about a bit, variate it as you work through. And I think this just adds a little bit of interest for you, but also some variation to the way that the colours are blending on the petal as you work your way round. So I'm just going to continue on working through each of these little segments, switching up between the yellow and this pink, adding some variation, and I'll speed up the replay here for you so you can see how this turns out. So if you've got any questions at all about this technique, then please do ask me a question in the comments area. And if you like this video, please like it and please feel free to share it. And I look forward to seeing what yours turn out like. But once I've finished colouring in this actual flower, we'll come back and we'll add a few little elements into the background as well. So don't go away just yet. So to keep consistency in where the blend actually occurs in the petal, you'll see that I added the yellow first in these areas and then I added the pink, and that kept that consistent as I worked around the petals. So we're now going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow into the stamen here. Now obviously normally a hibiscus only has one from the center, but I did say this was an abstract design, so this particular one has 5. So I'm just going to add little bits of yellow just around there. I may go back later on and actually put the gold in instead, so I'll see how I feel once I've finished the actual colouring in. And then we just need to add a little bit of background behind the hibiscus here, and to put the base down I've chosen this lime green. Now this is kind of like the same sort of value as the rest of the colours I've been using, so I kind of want my design to pop out a little bit more, so I may go back once I've finished, I may go back over in something darker just so the hibiscus pops. That's always something to take into account when you're creating or painting, and also when you're colouring in. So I'll just finish off adding this green. And oh, by the way, just to check the values in your colouring, if you just look at your design and squint your eyes a little bit, if it all kind of blends together, then it normally shows that it's kind of all the same value. So you might want a bit more contrast in your piece. So that's the green added in the background, and I do feel like, even though I love this green, I do feel like I'm going to add something darker. So I'm just going to do some finishing touches with my gold pen here. I'm going to fill in the stamen, and then I'm going to go around the edge and fill in the little kind of loopy things. I don't even know what else to call them. The little loopy things that kind of go around this design. So I just add the gold. So there's lots and lots of shimmer in this design. And then we'll see where we are with the piece finished. Okay, so there's the coloured in hibiscus design, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this very light blue into the background here. I mean, what's great about this colouring book is that you can add all sorts of things into the background of your pages. I like to add colour, but if you want to do any doodling or anything else, then obviously you can add that onto the paper as well. I've left it blank on purpose so you can add colour or doodles or notes or whatever it is you might want to pop in there. You might even want to write things as well. So I'll add the blue, and then that design is finished. I'll scan this version in, but I'll also do a version that has the darker background and you can see the difference as well. So that will be my final piece. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and have fun blending your colours. If you've got any questions, please add a comment, and if you'd like to see more videos, then please hit the subscribe and the notification, and then you won't miss any of my future videos because lots more is going to be added. Okay, thanks a lot everyone, bye. I'd love to see what you guys create, so please use the hashtag Botanical Mandalas Colouring Club, and I can find you and comment on your gorgeous colouring, and I can't wait to see what you guys create. Okay, thanks a lot everyone, bye.